Congratulations to Iowa women's wrestler Nanea Estrella, who was selected this week as the inaugural female winner of the Big Ten's Jackie Robinson Community and Impact Award. The award recognizes student athletes whose community service aligns with UCLA grad Robinson's amazing legacy, which each of the conference's 18 schools providing a male and female nominee. Estrella, a native of Hawaii, helped spearhead a donation drive to help victims of the 2023 Lahaina wildfires, raising more than $5,000 for a food bank, along with toys and sports equipment. And Nanea Estrella joins us now. Nanea, congratulations. I know you didn't set out to win any awards here. You were just looking to help fire victims in your home state, but certainly very worthy of getting this recognition. Tell people a little bit about the devastation that those fires caused in Lahaina.
Oh, it is just so heartbreaking what happened with the fires. Overall, there were 2,200 structures that were destroyed, including houses, businesses, residential, big buildings, everything just burned to ash or burned to not even the foundation anymore. And so many people close to me were affected, either mentally, physically losing their house, or just trapped in the fire and having to escape. So having to be on the backside of that and just sitting back and watching the impacts, it was crazy. I was on island at the time when the fires happened. I was supposed to leave a few days afterwards. And it was just the most heartbreaking thing to be so helpless. And I wanted to activate myself to be able to help the community. So it was very heartbreaking, and still to this day, so many impacts have happened, and it's, yeah.
So you said, you mentioned you were on the island in Maui when this happened. You grew up about an hour, I understand, from Lahaina, but went to high school in Lahaina. So it hits even closer to home than would hit for any other Hawaiian, just the notion of this being a kind of a second home for you. Tell me about that day. Like, tell me about when the fires broke out and when people started to realize the scope and devastation of what was going on.
It was a crazy day itself. I was actually having a family barbecue at the time, and I was in contact with family members that were close to me at the time. They were right where the fire started, and I remember getting texts being like, oh yeah, I guess another fire, getting texts like throughout the entire process of it. Another fire broke out because there was a fire previously in the morning that they were able to put out easily. And just getting the texts that, oh, another fire just started, I have to evacuate, and then radio silence after that. And finally, like, waiting 24 hours plus to reconnect and not knowing where they were, if they were alive, if they found housing, if they were safe, and then finally being able to talk to them. It was a great, great feeling 24 hours later, but there was so much fear in the heart of Maui, and immediately it started being like, okay, we want to think positive, like we want to think, okay, maybe nobody lost their house, but some people were able to get connection and post videos from the fire on the ground, like breaking news things, and you would see that on social media, and just seeing houses that I passed every day going to high school or being in Lahaina, houses and staples of the community just kind of burning to the ground and to ash. It was seeing that over social media and not being able to be on the ground and help, and hearing that, oh, roads were closed down, people are trying to evacuate, it's bottlenecked, cars are on fire. Like, there's so much fear, and I think everybody on island was just on their toes, and everybody was trying to figure out what they could do to help in such a helpless situation, especially because it was hurricane force winds at the time. So there was nothing that really anybody could do, even air traffic control, anybody could get through to help.
Well, you mentioned that notion of trying to help, and so you eventually went back to Iowa City to continue your studies and to continue your wrestling, and you decided to do something to help the people in your home state. And we were talking a little bit about what that was, raising money for the food bank and toys and sports equipment. Tell me the extent to which the Iowa community, your team, how did everyone pitch in to make kind of your vision the reality that became?
Well, immediately I was able to reach out to Iowa Athletic Department, and I'm so grateful for the help that they gave me. I asked them if they could work with me on maybe creating a fundraiser of some sort or a clothing drive, and immediately they were all hands on deck and immediate community outreach. My team, they wholeheartedly helped me, supported me. They were some of the biggest donors, donating clothes, donating toys that they had, extra spare things around, just lying around. And the community itself, they gathered around me, and I was able to even reach out to certain companies and certain stores that are very high traffic in Iowa City and put out little donation boxes there. And I just got out like complete pour of just support for my community, and everybody was heartbroken across the nation. And it was, you could see, especially in Iowa, when I was able to tell the stories and tell people exactly what's going on and show how much it impacted me and my community back home and my family. People were jumping to help. And I even had a community member reach out to me, and she did a pie drive, a blind auction where she baked pies and raise money, and people would bet on the pie, or not bet on the pies, but they would donate money. And she was able to donate all of that to the food drive, and she went half to the food drive and then half to a different fundraiser that the Hawaii community put out. So the outpour of help and support was just amazing. And it really made me feel like I was back at home, because this is the same kind of help and same kind of support that I would get from the Lahaina community and from the Maui community. So to feel that in Iowa, it hit home. It hit my heart really well.
It's truly an amazing story. And you personally are a pretty amazing story. You know, women's wrestling, as you well know, is kind of new to the Big Ten. Iowa's had this program here for a couple of years. Give us a little bit of your backstory. I know you started wrestling when you were 5 years old. What resonated with you about wrestling that got you to this point?
Well, I tend to be a little bit of an aggressive person. I
Okay.
played soccer when I was younger, and I realized very quickly that I am not a very good ball sport person, and I like to be like a little bit aggressive, and wrestling was a very good outlet for me, and I was good for it at my age. And it was just a way for me to kind of just fight in a way that I could fight in a way that was healthy and that was okay. And it was a way for me to be kind of like a tough girl. When I was younger, there wasn't much girls, but Hawaii is one of the biggest women's wrestling communities. They were the first ever state to sanction women's wrestling at the high school level. So I always kind of had a team when I got to the high school level. But when I was younger, I was one of the only girls, and my dad would make me wrestle with the boys. And it was always kind of fun to be like, oh, I'm a lot stronger than I thought I was. I'm a lot better than I thought I was. And it was just a way for me to kind of feel empowered. And I liked being strong. I liked being one of the girls that was like, I could do as many pull-ups as the guys in PE class. I could do as many push-ups as the guys in PE class. And I could also flip them on their head if they wanted. And so it was just, that was when I was younger. I thought that that was cool. And then I just got very good at it, and I stuck with it. And I realized that I could take it further because there were more and more opportunities that were opening up for me.
Well, those opportunities did open up. I know you started in college in California and then transferred to Iowa when the program began. You went through a couple of really devastating injuries, losing a couple of seasons, one to a very severe concussion, the other to a foot injury. And then this year, you're able to make it through the year and wrestle healthy, and you finished third in the nation in the 138-pound weight class. What did it mean to you to overcome all of that and to have that success that you had?
It was the most surreal moment, finally getting my hand raised in my last match. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit emotional about it. I had such a hard going through college, starting off with COVID and then going into a foot injury, having to relearn how to walk, and then my concussion, having to train my eyes to connect back to my brain, because that I lost connection to my brain. And then coming back after that, the fires happening immediately as I started my season, coming back from that, and then breaking my other foot and having to relearn to walk again. It was just felt like boom, 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 hard times, hard times, hard times. But to finally get my hand raised at the end of the season, even if it wasn't exactly the outcome that I wanted, I'm so proud of myself that I was able to overcome all of the adversity that I had faced. Um, it was just heartbreak after heartbreak after heartbreak. And to be able to finally see it come to fruition of me competing a full season and me being healthy and me wanting to continue to wrestle despite everything that I had been through, it just was the most amazing feeling.
Well, Nanea, congratulations on all of that success. And again, you are to be so commended for what you did for your home state. I know you weren't out seeking commendation, but you certainly deserve it. It really is remarkable to make the world a better place in the way that you did it, especially in the face of adversity. So, Nanea, congratulations. Thanks for your time, and we look forward to seeing what's next for you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.